Dear Ms. Perry, I am writing to request rehabilitative care for Ms. Nina Davis, who has been under our care following her admission on the 28th of June 2017 with a fracture to the left neck of femur. Ms. Davis, who has a known history of osteoporosis since 2015, underwent a left hip hemiarthroplasty during her hospital stay and is scheduled for transfer to your facility today. Postoperatively, she was assessed by a physiotherapist on the third day of admission, and an individualized exercise program was initiated to support her recovery and improve lower limb strength. Currently, she is able to ambulate short distances using a walker. Please note that weight bearing on the left lower extremity should remain restricted to 30% for the next 6 weeks. Due to limitations in her home environment and her husband's inability to provide the necessary care, a transition to your facility is necessary. Your assistance in continuing her rehabilitation, ensuring adherence to the attached medication schedule, and implementing the prescribed physiotherapy regimen would be highly appreciated. Ms. Davis also requires support with activities of daily living. Kindly note that her surgical staples are due for removal on postoperative day 14. The dressing must remain dry and intact until that time. Her medical history includes mild hypertension, mild hyperlipidemia, and coronary artery disease. Should you have any questions or require further information, please feel free to contact me directly. Dear Ms. Perry, this letter is to refer Ms. Nina Davis, who was admitted on the 28th of June 2017 with a fractured left neck of femur. She has a known history of osteoporosis since 2015 and underwent a left hip hemiarthroplasty under our care. She is being transferred to your facility today for ongoing rehabilitation. On postoperative day 3, physiotherapy was commenced to assist her in regaining strength. She currently ambulates short distances with a walker, and her left lower limb weight bearing is restricted to 30% for 6 weeks. As her husband is unable to assist with care at home and the environment is unsuitable for walker use, your support in managing her rehabilitation is requested. She requires assistance with ADLs, strict adherence to the attached medication plan, and continuation of the prescribed exercise program. Please also ensure that her dressing remains dry and intact until staple removal on day 14. Ms. Davis's comorbidities include mild hypertension, mild hyperlipidemia, and coronary artery disease. Please contact me if you require any further clarification. Best regards. Dear Ms. Perry, I am referring Ms. Nina Davis for continued rehabilitative care following her recent hospital admission on the 28th of June 2017 due to a left neck of femur fracture. Ms. Davis, who has a diagnosis of osteoporosis since 2015, underwent left hip hemiarthroplasty and has progressed steadily under our care. Postoperative rehabilitation was initiated on day 3 by the physiotherapy team. She is currently able to mobilize over short distances with the aid of a walker. Weight bearing on the left lower limb should remain limited to 30% for the next 6 weeks. Given the limitations of her home environment and her husband's inability to provide care, we believe a supervised rehabilitation setting is essential for optimal recovery. Your facility's support in continuing her care would be most appreciated. Please ensure continuation of the attached medication regime and exercise plan. She also needs assistance with basic ADLs. Kindly note that the surgical staples are to be removed on day 14 post-surgery, and the wound dressing should remain dry and intact until that time. Her past medical history includes mild hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and coronary artery disease. If you require any further details, please do not hesitate to contact me. Warm regards.
Hi, Ms. Perry. This letter is to formally request the continuation of care for Ms. Nina Davis, who is being transferred to your facility today. She was admitted to our hospital on the 28th of June 2017 following a fracture of the left neck of femur and subsequently underwent a left hip hemiarthroplasty. Ms. Davis has been diagnosed with osteoporosis since 2015. Postoperative physiotherapy was commenced on the third day of admission with a focus on strength recovery and improving mobility. She is currently able to walk short distances with the support of a walker. Please ensure that weight bearing on her left lower extremity does not exceed 30% for the next 6 weeks. Given the absence of adequate home support and the unsuitability of her domestic environment for rehabilitation, we request that your facility assume responsibility for her ongoing care. This includes adhering to the prescribed medication regimen, supervising the recommended exercise program, providing assistance with activities of daily living, and monitoring the surgical wound. Kindly ensure the dressing remains dry and intact, and arrange for staple removal on postoperative day 14. Ms. Davis also has a medical history of mild hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and coronary artery disease. Should you require any further information or have concerns regarding her care, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. Sincerely. Dear Ms. Perry, I am writing to request the transfer of care for Ms. Nina Davis, who has been under our treatment for a fractured left neck of femur. She has a long-standing history of osteoporosis, diagnosed in 2015, and underwent left hip hemiarthroplasty on the 28th of June 2017. She is scheduled for transfer to your facility today to continue her rehabilitation. Physiotherapy commenced on the third postoperative day. She is now able to walk short distances with a walker. However, she is to maintain a 30% weight-bearing limit on the left lower extremity for the next 6 weeks. Unfortunately, her husband is unable to provide the necessary care at home, which is not suited for mobility aids. We would be grateful if your team could assume responsibility for her continued rehabilitation, including medication adherence, physiotherapy, and assistance with ADLs. Please also arrange for removal of staples on day 14 and maintain the dressing as dry and intact until then. Her medical history includes mild hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and coronary artery disease. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Should you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Kind regards.